gun screaming like a siren at night. Red and blue shouting, nobody's right. Smoke in the streets, truth under attack. Everybody's loud, nobody's got facts. Feeds keep scrolling, nerves stay tight. Matchsticks flicked in the dead of night. They sell fear, cheap package the lies, while the clock keeps ticking, empires on fire. Can't sit quiet while the world's on edge. Lines in the sand, standing on the ledge. No script, no leash, no polish, quiet. Just a voice in the dark and a spark to the wire. This is and I'll bring the fire. Gonna light it higher. No filter, no fear, I say it raw. Strike the match, let it burn through the fog. This is and I'll bring the fire. And I'll bring the fire. Everybody's selling truth like a brand, buying opinions they don't understand. Talking in circles, screaming online. Keyboard courage, borrowed spines. Yeah, power plays dressed up as peace. Same old wolves with different teeth. But silence is loud when the house is burning. And the fuse is short, yeah, it's still learning. I don't dance for the left or the right. I stand in the heat, I stand in the fight. No strings, no chains, no manufactured choir. Just gasoline thoughts and an open lighter. This is and I'll bring the fire. Gonna light it higher. No filter, no fear, I say it raw. Strike the match, let it burn through the fog. This is and I'll bring the fire. And I'll bring the fire. The world's on tilt, pressure climbing. Truth don't whisper, it's perfect timing. You can't cancel the smoke, you can't stop flame. Say my name when it hits, say my name. Why? Say my name. Say my fire don't ask permission. Fire don't need a side. Fire just shows up honest and exposes the lies. This is and I'll bring the fire. Truth hits harder. Burn it down till what's real survives. No smoke, no mirrors, just heat and lies. This is and I'll bring the fire. And I'll bring the fire. American fire. Strike it. Let it speak.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to American Fire. I am Ace. I'm your host. We got a lot to go over tonight, folks. A lot. In fact, it was so much. I had so many tabs up. I had to cut some before my computer crashed on me. Or not my computer, my browser. So there's a lot. There's a lot. So tonight we got to cover Hillary testifying in front of Congress on Epstein, digging herself a bigger hole. The question is whether she gets caught on it or not, but it is interesting nevertheless. Updates on Iran that are pretty insane. It looks like things are building up, so I'm going to give you the latest on that. I have some very interesting stuff coming out on Candace Owens. I don't like to cover it, but I have to, as long as she's running her psyops. I got to counter them. And then some other really interesting information regarding the upcoming elections and files that are being found by Kirsty Noem and Kash Patel that are exposing some of the stuff going on in the Biden administration and beyond. So lots to cover tonight. But before we get started, guys, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. Thank you so much. Let YouTube know you like the show so that it spreads, so that it grows, so that all the peeps who want the truth, come on, check it out here. And also, I think there's a new hype button. Some of you might get option to hit that hype button. So hit that one. That one's supposed to really help me. It pushes it up. So that's the free way to help. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe, repost if you're watching on X. I greatly appreciate you sharing it with your friends, and then yeah. So we'll get started. Let me say hey to the chat, the Chizut, and then we're gonna get moving here. Wago Waco, what's up, buddy? Numero uno. Cat Sink, what's going on? MRTKO, Donna in the house. Mr. Minsky, what's going on? Kim Wiley, hello. La la la. Do you guys remember that old Seinfeld episode? Hello. La la la. I know that's Mike's favorite. Toe Cramp, what's going on? D6 report in the house. AJ Trader, what's going on, buddy? Nick Majors, Alice Fordham, winning Wednesday. It's Thursday, but yeah, we'll take it on Wednesday too. Daver, what's going on? Frank Anastasio, Rum Dog, Heidi Moga caught me while listening to the other live. I like it. Lochtefeld over on Rumble, jail. We got Just Mike with the number one Seinfeld fan. Moody Waters, what's going on? And yeah, did you like that Candace video last night? That was funny. I got another funny one for you tonight, who, of all people, from Dave Rubin. Dave Rubin's not my favorite. I actually honestly don't like most of his stuff. He's kind of he's kind of a grifter himself in some ways. He was Young Turks, then he became conservative. You know, I mean, he seems nice enough, but yeah, it's hard to trust the people who jump back and forth. But man, he posted a pretty funny one. Okay, but we're gonna get into it. Let's go. We got a big show tonight. So today, Iran said no. They said no to the deal with America. We were asking them to shut down their nuclear facilities. We said no more enriched uranium, turn it over. They countered by saying, no, we'll do a temporary freeze with technical steps. Trust us, bro. Trust us, bro. Basically the Obama deal without the cash. And but Washington said zero enrichment forever. So who knows where this is headed. I will show you that things are heating up. Pentagon has activated its kamikaze drone unit. Task Force Scorpion ready to strike if Trump orders actions against Iran. These aren't your dad's drones. One way, $35K each, autonomous, built to swarm soft targets like missile sites and roads, cheap, disposable, and lethal. You know, it's going to be interesting if we do go through with this, which, you know, no one can say that, well, they will say it. I can't say they can't say it because they can. They can't credibly say that this is all a push to try to get us sucked in by Israel. This is obviously Iran playing games. They killed 32,000 of their protesters a month ago. They're the last piece of stabilizing the Middle East. And all they had to do is say, hey, we weren't ever going to do nukes anyways. Here you go. Take it. So I saw somebody today being like, Bibi's been saying this for 30 years. Iran's got nukes. Yeah, he has. I totally admit that. And there's plenty of reasons Bibi wants us to go full on war with Iran. But just because Bibi wants us to go in doesn't also mean we have a reason to go in ourselves. That's separate from Bibi. You know, if Bibi was in charge, we would have gone much longer than that 12-day war last year. Remember what Trump came out and said in front of everybody? Iran, Bibi, they don't know what the F they're doing. And then Bibi stormed out of the White House just last week, shaking his head. This is reported by Axios. Bibi came out of the White House shaking his head saying, I don't even know if they're with us anymore. That does not sound like a controlled puppet Trump. However, it's pretty obvious something has to be done. They probably know a lot more than we do. I have a feeling that Iran, being the number one state sponsor of terror, is also operating stuff here, or got caught operating sleeper cells here by the Trump administration. And so there has to be consequences. Whatever it is, there is a reason this is escalating now, but they've gone as far as they can. They've pushed everything. Trump has negotiated, and it looks like something's going to happen. What I think, after what we saw in Venezuela, we're going to get some kind of targeted strike, and it might be Venezuela times 10. It might be intense, but if Venezuela showed us anything, it's that we have weapons and the ability to conduct strikes that is unlike anything the world's ever seen before. Remember the stories coming out of Venezuela that the guy's guns wouldn't even work? They didn't know what happened. It was just like darkness came over, and all of a sudden, I mean, we have the craziest stuff going on. And I think we have even more weapons. See, Trump is the first president willing to use everything. Before we held back, we wanted to get involved in wars because of contractors, because of money, because of City of London running that money train, baby. Keep it going. The cabal, man, the deep state, the intelligence agencies, they wanted these elongated wars. That's why ever since World War II, every single thing we've gotten into, except for the one exception, was Desert Storm 91, which is interesting because that was run by a CIA president, Bush 1. You know what I think that was all about? I think Desert Storm was the rebuild. See, after Reagan brought down the Soviet Union, America still didn't want troops on the ground kind of war. So what Desert Storm was, it was the build the trust war again. Trust us, bro. See, these people always play the long game. It was we can do this, guys. We can win. And it got morale back up. And then what happened? A decade later, 9/11. They waited 10 years, 9/11, and then got us deep into the war on terror. Lasted 20 plus years, cost us trillions of dollars, eroding our wealth, killing our kids, and devastating the Middle East. Trump isn't like that. All the wars since World War II, other than Desert Storm, have all been get stuck, stay, just waste resources. Vietnam, on record, could have easily been won many times. Oh, it's the generals. They're just, that was the war fought by politicians, remember? Afghanistan, Iraq, we never needed to occupy those places. It goes on and on. But Trump has not yet, in 5 years of presidency total, first term and this term, has never yet got us boots on the ground. And I don't believe it's going to start now. Trump is willing to use everything in our stockpile. Technology that we have that nobody else has. I really believe that. Iran is preparing. All Persian language news and political channels across Iran and the Middle East are suddenly offline. No explanation yet. Right as talks collapse and warships are in the region. Very interesting. So they're shutting down their media, the Persian language news. Isn't that interesting? There's all kinds of stuff going on in Iran, all kinds of peoples. There's Muslims, different sects of Islam, and then there's the Persians, there's Christians, Zoroastrians. I mean, Iran is not technically a Muslim nation. It's just run by Muslims. There's more other religions there than the people, which was one of the reasons the people want to revolt and get their country back. But very interesting. They shut off the Persian channels. But this gives me a lot of hope. And I do believe them because this is the history we've seen. But Vice President J.D. Vance came out to say and said, while military strikes against Iran remain under consideration, there's no chance such strikes would result in the U.S. becoming involved in a years-long drawn-out war. So far, the Trump administration has built that trust. I believe them when they say that. And I've been saying it this whole time. We don't have a weak president. We don't have a pacifist president. We never could have one. You cannot be president of the United States and be a pacifist. It's impossible. You just can't. I don't believe anywhere you can be a leader and be pacifist. You can't. Leaders, if you go like Romans 13, it even says in the Bible, the reason we have leaders in government is that they carry the sword for justice. Well, you can't carry the sword and be a pacifist. You can't enforce justice for the people and be a pacifist. You cannot defend your people and be a pacifist. That's not who he is. And he never promised that. And so all these people are like lying, Trump promised no new wars. Yeah, he promised no new wars. He didn't promise he wouldn't ever do anything militarily to do life better for us. So whatever it is going on over there, this is one of those things where I go back. I don't want war. I don't want skirmishes. My son just turned 18. Of course I don't want war. That's, war is awful. It's evil. It's hell. We don't want that. But we also don't want anything, just like in Venezuela, just like other operations we've carried out. We need to make sure Trump is more than president of the world. He is the stabilizer to the world. He's remaking the whole world order. And what he's doing is not creating a new global world order. He's breaking up the new world order they wanted to build. Like George Bush, #1, read my lips, new world order. He didn't say it like that. That was the no new taxes, but he did say in a speech about it, we're ushering in a new world order, and that's been happening. This is part of getting rid of it. And so it's, again, for the patriots who've been here this whole time, watching, paying attention, we knew it was going to be ugly at sometimes. We knew we were in a war. It was never going to be easy. It wasn't going to just be an election that wins it all and all of a sudden everything's great. No, stuff has to happen. So what we need to be doing is praying like crazy that this, whatever they come up with, it's so ingenious that it's quick, it's effective, and civilians aren't killed, and that no Americans die in it. That's what we need to pray, and that somehow it triggers the fall of the regime. That would be the best case scenario and everything. And I believe that's why they've been waiting so long. They are working on coming up with a plan, because just like JD Vance says here, we're not going to become involved in a years-long drawn-out war. And I have a feeling we won't see boots on the ground either. Jordan asks, I don't think what's going on could be Gog and Magog war. No, I hate to tell you this, but there is no Gog and Magog war coming. That's bad theology. But it's not your fault. You were taught the same end times theology we all were taught growing up from the Schofield Bible, that Eastern Christians don't even believe. It was taught to you. You learned it because of Darby, got his notes in the Schofield Bible, and we all believed his nonsense about the end times because of that. But you can go through my Bible course on understanding the whole Bible and why that whole idea is just not real. This is not going to be a Gog and Magog war. There's not going to be one of those wars. I think we're going to get out of this. I think Trump is going to surprise us like he always has. That's what I think is going to happen. Something incredible is going to come out of this. It might be a little scary. It might be a little intense, but I really think some good is going to come out of this. Okay, let's move on from there. I will definitely come on Emergency Live if we strike Iran this weekend. So be ready for that if it happens, and I'll do my best to cover information cutting through the noise. All right. So that's my promise to you. Another quick hit, and then we're going to get to Clinton and Epstein, because I know that's why you guys are really here, right? Everybody's really here for the Clinton Epstein stuff, and I don't blame you. That is definitely the most interesting, salacious stuff for sure. But I got to tell you guys about this real quick, because this is actually a huge deal. Today, Netflix backed out of buying Warner Brothers Discovery. Why, you ask, is this a huge deal? Well, Paramount is now going to buy Warner Brothers Discovery, which means Paramount, which is right-leaning. It's like the one media conglomerate that's slightly right-leaning. I mean, you could say Fox News, still, but Fox sold all of its media, its entertainment division to Disney years ago. So Fox is not that big anymore. But Warner Brothers, massive, being bought now by Paramount. Netflix was going to buy them. Netflix, woke, Fagatron Netflix was going to buy them. The internet is blowing up that all the Jews are now in control of all the media. Oh my God. Because Larry Ellison, owner of Paramount, is a Jew. But guess what? So are the owners of Netflix. It was going Jew either way, guys. So if we have a choice between Warner Brothers, which is the DC movies, HBO, which all the HBO shows and movies, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, massive. I mean, and that's just the modern stuff. Warner Bros. Going back decades. All this stuff from Warner Brothers, plus CNN, plus Comedy Central, plus Adult Swim, plus all these other news, entertainment channels, all going to Paramount. So they were going, the choice was woke, faggy Jews who, would have probably made Superman a purple-haired Muslim, and and Batman would have been a trans guy with like pink nose or something. And they probably, I don't even want to think what they would have done to Lord of the Rings. We would have got a remake announced immediately, right? That's Netflix or Paramount, where the home of Indiana Jones, Mission Impossible, Top Gun, guy movies. So if I got to choose which Jews are running my media company, I'm going to choose Paramount. All right. So that's what we're doing. But this is crazy because CNN is now going over there. So expect libs to be big mad. This is now CBS. I mean, you see on here all these like Skydance movies. TikTok is owned by Paramount. This was all already was owned by them. CBS, the Food Network, Discovery, BET. And then you got all these properties down here going over. It's massive. So, but this is a big deal because it means that Hollywood is being bought up by more center-right people. This is going to have major repercussions down the line for media in America. So, it's massive story. I'm not going to spend much more time on it because that's not why you guys are here. But listen, this is all winning. All of this is winning because winning is progress. When I played sports, especially basketball, which was my passion for a decade of my life, I was darn good at it too. We celebrated progress. It was always celebrate progress. And this is what drives me nuts. And this is how you can notice a psyop, by the way. When the media people who act like they were big Trump people are all of a sudden turning on him saying he doesn't get anything done. He's breaking his promises. Meanwhile, every single one of his promises, and I do mean every single one of his promises, have either been completed or there's progress on it. That, my friends, is called winning, especially after a year. And no matter what you're in, whether it's business, sports, family, marriage, whatever it is, progress is winning. Getting better is winning. Health, losing weight, improvement is winning. And this is another step in the right direction for America of improvement. All right. Now I know why you guys are here. So let's get to Hillary. Or should I say Killary? We all know her real name, right? Hillary Clinton. So, Hillary, today, meeting with the Senate Republicans. It was cut short because, and it's stupid, but by the way, there's Hillary. How awful does she look? Hillary today came in with a big statement to start. I never knew Epstein. Don't recollect. I don't recollect I ever met him. We all know that's a lie, and I'm going to prove it here in a minute. But she, in the middle of it, when the questions are starting to heat up, Lauren Boebert decided to take this photo and text it to Benny Johnson. Well, Benny Johnson did what Benny Johnson will do, and he broadcast it and spread it all around and said, check it out. Hillary's in there. Look at how bad she looks. Whatever Benny Johnson does. By the way, Benny Johnson drives me a little nuts. I'm not saying he's bad. He's got that fake energy that just drives me crazy. Maybe that's just really who he is, but not somebody I want to hang out with. But as soon as it got out there that Hillary found out, her team found out that the photo was circulating, she said, whoops, you guys broke the rules. The rules have been broken for this deposition, this testimony. I'm out. And she just bugged out. So there's all kinds of stuff that didn't get asked. And the Republicans, which they may have been able to do something, they're not going to arrest her. Not over this. They're too weak. They're not like Democrats. And plus the media would have a field day with it. This is a midterm year. If you're going to arrest her, you better have more than that. They let her go. And that was that. But Boebert, what a stupid mistake. And I can't tell if Boebert is retarded for doing that or if she just if it was planned. I don't know, but they really gave her a way out, which is insane. Regardless, in her testimony, she over and over again just denied knowing Epstein, denied having anything to do with him, even though he helped build the Clinton Foundation. And then she ended on this. She went out and she had herself a little press conference outside to just rant and rave about how stupid this is. She mentioned Pizzagate, which was kind of neat. You know why it's neat? Because Pizzagate's basically been proven by the Epstein files. I mean, it was already proven by WikiLeaks, but it's been reproven. A little more to that. Add some more spice to that pie. Added to it, but it hasn't been talked about. The media hasn't picked it up. So in her press conference today, she mentioned they were asking me a bunch of questions about Pizzagate, and just like that, magic. All of a sudden, Pizzagate is now in the news again everywhere because Hillary Clinton mentioned it. So thanks, Hillary. You really didn't think that one through. But here's how her press conference ended. Listen to somebody actually asking her a real question.
Can I ask, why was Ghislaine Maxwell invited to the daughter of Chelsea Clinton's wedding in 2010? She'd already been mentioned in a civil lawsuit by Virginia Giuffre before that. Jeffrey Epstein had already been convicted before that.
She came as the plus one, the guest of someone who was invited.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all.
You see how fast she could not wait to get out of there. That reporter, which it kind of sounded like it might have been Ducey. Ducey's always dropping the deuces, man. Ducey's actually pretty awesome for a Fox News guy. He goes after Virginia Giuffre files. Ghislaine Maxwell was at your daughter's wedding. You wanna speak to that? And Hillary, who's very smart, by the way. Hillary is cunning. She is, out of all the Democrats, she is the smartest. She would have been the scariest if she'd become president. We dodged such a bullet getting her off the board. But she's very cunning. But you see how fast she got out of there? Quick answer, done. No explanation. Just, she was a plus one. Okay, thanks everybody, goodbye. She wasn't ready to go there. And you know why? Because of this. Epstein files, she is all over these files. We have this one right here. Oh, okay. I thought you were suggesting I not come with Hillary there. Interesting. Later in the same file. Apparently Hillary Clinton would also be here the same day as you and I guess you know her pretty well. Redacted, Nina K. It's her email redacted. Nina K. to Jeffrey Epstein. I guess you know her pretty well, huh? And then up here again, I thought you were suggesting I not come over with Hillary there. Tell us more, Hillary, how you don't know this man. That's pretty crazy, I'd say, wouldn't you? And then, but there's more. There's more. Meetings with Hillary. Or could you organize a discreet meeting between Sarko and Hillary? If not, who should we ask? To which Jeffrey, meetings with Hillary are not easily discreet. When? Organized meetings. This is one of just a couple. There are plenty of these. There's about 4 or 5 other ones. But then there's this. This is the craziest one. This is the most damning. Apparently Hillary doesn't know Epstein, but Bill and Hillary were frequent guests at Epstein's New Mexico Zorro Ranch after they left the White House. By the way, he also went to the White House 17 times. You think she didn't meet him one of those times? It's crazy that Hillary, who's, as smart as she is, that the best she could do is just outright lie she never knew him because the evidence is overwhelming. This isn't, we caught one photo of her once upon a time where she met him in 1998 and there's nothing else. And then people would be like, she met him. But that one you could also say I get it. It's been almost 30 years. Maybe it was quick. Maybe she forgot. Okay, Hillary, for once you're telling the truth. No, this isn't that. This is 17 visits to the White House, several trips to the ranch, multiple emails confirming, and including the email that says, I guess you know her really well. Come on, Hillary. You can do better than this. I expect more from you, Hillary. The great, you've been one of the great villains of my life. You have been in my life as long as I can remember. Actually, not quite as long as I can remember, because you came into the White House when I was 9 years old. So I do have some memories before that. But since 9 years old, you've been in my life as one of the great villains of my life. Big, scary woman. You're like Maleficent. You know, you're terrifying in a way. The great dragon lady. The brains behind a good deal of what's been going on in the Democratic Party for the last 30 years. She basically was the policy person for Bill. Bill, who's not a dummy himself, but he's more of, you know, he's the gut instinct guy. Quick on his feet. Got all the gifts Hillary doesn't have. Charisma. But Hillary is the behind the scenes mastermind. She is a scary woman. I don't say that about many Democrats. You guys watched my show. You know how stupid most Democrats are. And I call it out. They are dumb. They are liars. They are not talented. But they have a lot of money behind them and a lot of intelligence agencies behind them. But Hillary is different. Hillary is conniving. And this is the best she could do. He visited a dozen times in 94, twice in one day on 3 different occasions. And Epstein was also one of the original founders of the Clinton Global Initiative. Bill flew 26 times on the Lolita Express. Maxwell at Chelsea's wedding, I'm sure Hillary never knew Epstein. And thank God the Daily Mail is actually doing the job of journalists and has put this all over the place. Clinton was Jeffrey Epstein's closest celebrity mate and a frequent guest at his New Mexico ranch with wife Hillary. Staying at the pedophile's cowboy-themed village, say estate workers. Interesting. Exclusive. Jeffrey Epstein's access to the Clinton White House laid bare. Visitor logs reveal pedo visited the former president at least 7 times. So it's out there, folks. It's out there. This was a dumb thing to lie about, Hillary, because this one's just a little too easy. Donna writes, I thought Epstein set up the Clinton Foundation. He definitely helped. He was a big part of it, for sure. So she's out there. She lies. Tomorrow we get Bill. We'll see how that goes. Again, this will be behind the scenes. We're going to get the transcript after, maybe some video after the House releases it. Who knows? But this was kind of explosive because of the Lauren Boebert text. Now, I have a feeling she got reamed. Don't you dare do that again. If she's even on tomorrow's committee, which she probably is. I believe it's the same committee. But don't give the Clintons an out, guys. They are smart. They are, between her and Obama's smart too. But Obama is lazy and greedy. He's greedy for money. Hillary's greedy for power. Obama, after he got out the second time, he took his money and he's like, Martha's Vineyard for life, bro. I don't want to do politics. It's not fun. I want to just do rich. I did my job. I want to be rich and live that good life. And the Democrats are so pissed at him for it because he's not out there running for them, helping them. He just likes to make phone calls, play, you know, the game master here and there, dungeon master, like he's playing D&D. That's what Obama likes to do. But Hillary is so power hungry. She's always in the game. Makes her more dangerous than Obama. So you don't give them an out. And they were given an out today, and that's pretty crappy. But from what we saw, it's pretty obvious. She goofed up. And now we have all of that on her. And the big question is this, Hillary, if you're innocent, why'd you lie? And that's what we need to hammer over and over and over again. Democrats bring it up. Hey, why'd Hillary lie? Why'd she claim she didn't know him? Just throw it at him. The way you win a PSYOP is you have the better information and you can run the counter narratives more strong. And we are under constant psyop right now. All right, let's continue with Epstein stuff, though. Destruction claims rock the Epstein probe. Here is Anna Paulina Luna talking about destruction of Epstein documents that may have occurred during the Biden years.
You've seen who do not have access to the files. How can they be confident that the Attorney General, Bondi, leading this charge, or others who are in charge of providing documents, that they really will do so in the interest of justice?
Well, I think that, for starters, you have a bipartisan oversight committee actually working to not cover up, but actually go into all of this, right? We're interviewing the Clintons tomorrow. But to be clear, I mean, the destruction of evidence occurred under previous administrations. And that in itself, if you look at the network that was involved with Jeffrey Epstein, I mean, to think that there aren't shady things happening in your government, I think would just be a lie to the American people. The fact is that we did have someone come forward. They did say that there was destruction of evidence under the former deputy director of the FBI. And even if you're looking at the original plea deals that Jeffrey Epstein was given, you know, when he was first charged and then also more recently when he then committed suicide in New York, I mean, he should have never gotten off. He should have never had his sentences dropped down to the way that he did. And there are marks of intelligence surrounding this as well, whether it was foreign or, you know, our own. But I don't think that we're ever going to get the full picture. And
you guys imagine, like, I know Bondi gets a hard time and some of it's justified. I don't think she's handled everything the best. But can you imagine how hard her job is? What she's dealing with? Had to purge the DOJ of all the woke people trying to undercut her from the beginning. She comes in, the FBI won't turn over files to her that she's demanding. She's finding out stuff's missing. She's working half-staffed for most of the year as she's trying to rebuild the DOJ. She's got so much to uncover. She's got nonstop court cases coming at her of rogue judges trying to throw down. She is literally got the hardest attorney general's job in history because she's fighting the deep state, the entrenched bureaucracy, and the media and the legislature all at the same time. This is not an easy job. And I mean, everybody is jumping so mad about the Epstein stuff. They don't focus on the fact that crime's 100 years low, that she won 20 plus straight cases before the Supreme Court. I mean, she's kind of, if it wasn't for the Epstein stuff, we'd all be saying Pam Bondi's a rock star. But it's the Epstein stuff's the only holdup. It's that and the people wanting arrest this moment. But think about this, like finding out that a lot of this evidence has been burned up. So she said, we had someone come forward and say there's destruction of evidence under the former deputy director of the FBI who protected the network. Investigators going to interview the Clintons. For years, Epstein case been surrounded by unanswered questions. Now the possibility of destroyed evidence enters the picture. What's interesting too, though, is have you guys noticed they're kind of rolling out a little bit of info at a time? Everybody's getting mad about these Epstein files not being enough. And then all of a sudden it's, oh, hey, we found some in storage units. That'll be coming out. And then this as well. Oh, we'll get to that in a second. And we'll get to that in a second. I'm jumping ahead. And we'll get to that in a second. Where am I at? Oh, I was in the wrong area. Well, let's go back to that. But first, Kristi Noem comes out today. Says her team discovered a secret skiff at DHS where they found files nobody knew existed. We just happened to have an employee walking by a door and wondered what it was. We went in there and there were individuals working there that had secret files nobody knew about on controversial topics. And as MJ Truth writes here, as I said, you realize with complete operational control, they can literally find anything at any time, right? Perfect plausible deniability covered to literally declass anything they want. The fun has just begun. This is why enjoy the show, folks, because they do have it all. They got everything. And it's just going to drip, drip, drip. And everybody getting mad. Whoa, we want everything at once. But you don't give everything at once. If you're in control, you drop crumbs You see what the rats do with it. And then you make your next move. And that's exactly what I see Pam Bondi doing. That's what I see Trump doing, because Trump ultimately is the one in control of it all. That's what I see them doing. I don't think these are mistakes. I don't think these are cover-ups. I think this is drip, drip, wait, drip, wait, see what they do. Drip some more. We have leverage. Let's see what they respond. You guys know they're getting calls behind the scenes. You know there's deals trying to be made behind the scenes over and over again. If anything else you've learned the last decade, it's that we can't trust everything that's right in front of our faces. Almost nothing is what it seems. And that's why, like on my show, I make it such a big deal that when I actually broadcast something, I have receipts. I don't sit there like Candace Owens and talk for 2 hours just saying stuff and being like, I found out this and I found out that. No, I don't do that. I show you guys. I show you the witnesses, the people testifying, the stuff coming out. I show you the documents. I show you everything I can to say, this is where this is headed. This is why my thought process is here. Because without the receipts, what's it mean? And everybody going after Bondi right now has no receipts on anything. They're just mad. They're big mad. They're throwing little temper tantrums. I want more files. I want arrest now. I get it. We all want that, right? We want it to be done immediately. But what I show you guys on Sunday or Monday, after the Mexico raids going on, how it all starting to make sense. You take out the foot soldiers so that when you actually go after the big dogs, they're not killing American citizens. We don't know what we let in the last few years. The old Q post, what it said, arrests will happen, but after things have been taken care of, you have to show them. You can't tell them. You have to take care of things first. That's what's happening. The Trump administration's only been in office, again, 13 months. 13 months out of 48. They still got 35 months left to do this stuff. And that's, and it's not like anything's not happening. Today, President and CEO of the World Economic Forum, Boris Brende, resigns. Another one down. Remember Klaus Schwab dropped out a couple of years ago because of sexual allegations? This is the next dude. World Economic Forum again. UK going down. World Economic Forum falling apart. UN busted. People are like, why are these other countries responding better than we are? Because that's where the actual problem is, the biggest problem. That's where the masters are. They were never here. Everybody here is a pawn. Hillary Clinton is a pawn. It's the cabal, man. The City of London, the globalists, the deep state. It all goes back to there. MI6. That's where it started, folks. So it makes sense that they start purging. It's a signal. It's a signal. We all knew the World Economic Forum. So stuff is happening. And the whole psyop going on that, Europe's handling this better than us. So when has Europe ever handled anything better than us? Come on. Really? All of a sudden we're just going to jump in and give them credit and all this stuff? Come on. It's so stupid. I mean, come on. Come on. Thankfully, you people watching here too smart for that. So, but let's keep seeing what's happening here. So, it's starting to spread. Thomas Massie starting to freak out because he's about to lose his spot in Congress. Ed Galbraith is growing, and this is huge because Massie is a deep state plant. And if you didn't believe me before, if you've been holding on No, Thomas Massie's one of the good ones, Ace. I just wish you'd see it. He's really pure of heart. Yeah, he's clashing with Trump, but it's because he's so pure. He can't recognize that, the damage he's doing because he's just trying to do so many good things. Thomas Massie is the one good one, guys. He's the one good one. Really? Well, this is interesting. IPAC stands with Thomas Massie and supports his re-election campaign. IPAC's mission. IPAC is a 100% volunteer managed and operated nonprofit organization by promoting policies that preserve civil rights, social justice. You guys know what social justice is key word for, right? Social justice is key word for progressive insanity. Progressive insanity. That's what that's key for. That's what that always means. Trans, abortion until birth, DEI, whatever's the craziest stuff, it's always under the guise of social justice. We strive to shape a better future for the American people by supporting campaigning and lobbying for deserving candidates. Deserving candidates we support. Well, let's look. Thomas Massie, Cornel West. Well, that's interesting. You don't usually think of Thomas Massie, the number one Liberty score for best voter in Congress, most right wing, to be in getting the same money as Cornel West and Act Blue. That's interesting. Who else they giving to? We got Massie, Ilhan Omar. What? Rashida Tlaib. What? Are you kidding me? Jamal Bowman? Ocean's Pack. Hakeem Jeffries? Ro Khanna? Guys, Massie is being funded by the exact same people that fund the squad. The lefties of lefties. Are you kidding me? Like, you cannot make this stuff up. Bowman, the squad. Jamal Bryapal, squad. Ilhan Omar, the squad. Rashida Tlaib, the squad. Hakeem Jeffries, Speaker of the House, Democrats. Ro Khanna, one of the most progressive people in Congress, just brought in offered the wealth tax idea to California, making all their billionaires leave. Are you kidding me? This is just insane. Jeffries Victory Fund, Nancy Pelosi Victory Fund, and then Massie. I mean, how dumb do you have to be to still be supporting Thomas Massie as the right-wing king, the true communicator of libertarian values and right-wing values? Come on, this is insanity. So Massie's getting exposed, but remember what he's been doing this whole time. He got elected. I don't know when Massie first got into Congress. 2018, which was the blue wave election. Interesting, the blue wave midterm against Trump. Sweeps in. Ever since then, votes with the Republicans on everything that doesn't matter. And then every big thing that matters, he votes with Democrats. Huh. Interesting. And he always, because he's so principled, he finds a reason not to vote with the Republicans. He's so principled. Easy to say. Easy cover, right? The whole Epstein stuff, Massie tweets once about Epstein from the time Epstein's busted in 2019 to 2024. Once. And it's a reply to somebody else's tweet. And then miraculously, 2024, January 2024, when Donald J. Trump is officially running, the primaries are going, all of a sudden it becomes, we got to find out more about this Epstein character. And what's it been ever since? I mean, if Massie isn't a plant, I don't know if the sky is blue. I'm just telling you. And now somebody's going to get all scientific and be like, the sky is actually not blue. What you're seeing is this. Shut up. Yeah, the sky's blue, okay? This is the craziest thing, guys. Like, every day, I'll say every week, something else comes out about Massie. Yeah, there's just no explaining this. It's nonstop donations to the most hardcore liberal progressive causes and candidates you can find. Hey, Ro Khanna. Let's go back to Ro Khanna's donation down here. $6,600 to Ro Khanna. They gave more to Massie. Massie got the big bucks. But you wonder why Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna are shaking hands, doing this all together? They're buddies. They're donation buddies. They all get their money from the same place. Funny how that happens, isn't it? Oh, we need Thomas Massie gone so bad. Because once he's gone, all these idiots are going to have to find somebody else. And it's going to be tough for him. It's going to be tough for him because all the grifters, the MAGA grifters who are pretending to be MAGA, but their big slogan is America First. We're the real America Firsters. Okay. Whether it's MTG, whether it's Nick Fuentes, Emerald Robinson. I mean, all these people, Ian Carroll, Candace Owens, they're all playing that we're the real America First. We're going to tell you who MAGA is. We're going to tell you. You guys are not the real Trump base. We're the real Trump base. Man, he sucks. What an idiot. Listen to these dumb consultants he's got. What is wrong with Trump? We're the real base, though. There's a craziness like Emerald Robinson's tweet I covered last night. It's insane. These people are so crazy. Who are they going to support now? MTG's gone. Massie's gone. They're exposing it. Maybe there's going to be somebody else come up out of the house. I don't know. But it's time to say bye-bye to Massie. And honestly, if I were Galrain, I would take these, I would show this, and I would just make it an ad. I would be like, Thomas Massie says he's red, but his money is blue. And just show it all. That would be an ad, man. That would kill. And he's already struggling. In all this, the psyops, thank you, Thomas Massie. We're back to this. So it's all over the news. They are running so hard with this. The whole Donald Trump allegations against Trump, raped a girl, 1980, underage girl, all over the place. The Democrats think they got him, or at least they think they can spread this and get in. But unfortunately, we have too much good reporting these days. X is the great narrative buster. Michael Tracy reports the woman whose child rape claim against Donald Trump was supposedly covered up in the Epstein files says she realized she was repeatedly raped by Jeff Epstein in the 80s after hearing the name Epstein on a movie starring Barbara Streisand and Nick Nolte. I don't know if you guys seen, what was that one? Room with a View? I think that's the movie that stars them. I'm not a Streisand fan, but for the Streisand heads in here, the Barb heads, you guys remember Epstein being mentioned in Room with a View? Apparently, it's the keyword that breaks your MK Ultra. You snap out of it when you hear Barbara, singing in her lovely vocal cords. Lloyd Epstein, or maybe it was Nick Nolte who said it with his smoker voice. Epstein. Whatever it was, apparently it's what snapped her snapped her out of the stupor and woke her to remember what happened to her. This is how legit these people are. And then we got this gem today, which was beautiful. Beautiful. This right here has people who have been going after Trump saying he's one of them getting crushed. The whole narrative, so this entire thread right here, this entire email chain was all about the Jews and Epstein and them talking politics, getting rid of Trump. And let's get down to this part, because this is not something that all the Trump haters want to see. And I mean the libertarian types too, the Thomas Massie types. What is Trump covering up? Well, look at this. The good news is they're getting him to resign by finding illegality rather than doing what they did to JFK. What? That's pretty crazy. I don't know about you guys, but they wanted a JFK Trump. Down here, let's make a plan for you. More important by far, I guess that before September 16th. Keep outside the 60 days of election interference, as you will see Trump core on the hit list. Isn't it nice to see tomorrow's news today? Keep going. Where's the how far down was this? I might have gone too far. Give me a second here, guys. There is a bombshell one. You see Trump CFO granted immunity. They're planning. This is all the plot on how to take Trump down. Arrived in London. Isn't that interesting? Oh, here it is. The establishment hates Trump. I mean, that's it right there. That says it all. In the Epstein files, the plan to stop Trump, right all there. And how can Trump be the establishment if the establishment hates Trump? I mean, that's a bombshell right there, guys. This has been spreading all over X. Thank God it's getting out there. That's a big one. And that's one of the ones that we want. That's a good one for our side, folks. You see, the receipts are just coming out like crazy. I see Dirty Ray says, take a break from politics in my life. I'll take a break from politics when it stops mattering, but we're in wartime right now. There's no breaks. I do take breaks on the weekends. I hang out with my family. I go hiking. I catch up on some movies I love. I play video games, whatever I need to do. I decompress. I go to church, worship, spend good time with my wife, date my wife. Listen, man, I got a full life. I don't do politics every minute of my day. But when I do, first of all, I love them. This energizes me. This doesn't wear me down. Some people, politics wear down, not me. I'm a freak. Politics has energized me since I was 18 years old. I love it. This makes me come to life because this is what makes the world turn. And I got to tell you, because of this, God made me this way. And he gave me a gift, a huge, beautiful, big, beautiful BS detector. And it's why I really am good at knowing when there's going to be receipts or not, or telling what's real or not. And I got to tell you guys, the receipts are crazy right now. They are starting to come out more and more. Again, I said it, drip, drip, drip. Let it keep coming out. Drip, drip, drip. The more it comes out, and I played you guys the O'Reilly clip last night, him talking about how it's going to backfire. This is exactly why, because you keep people's focus on it. Now, they were winning the Epstein narrative a while ago. They were winning it. Why? Because it was fresh and new. And Trump's name was in the Epstein files. We all know why, because he was being validated and exonerated in it, but he was in them. And to the regular Joe, that's all they need to hear. The problem is the more information that comes out, the better it looks for Trump and conservatives in general. I mean, there are some Republicans in here. It's very few. There's other Republicans. They're nasty in their own ways. But this is exposing the gatekeepers to everything. Media, politics, especially the Democratic Party, music. All the power brokers, except for the ones that they wanted you to hate the most. Isn't that interesting? I mean, this is about as perfect a quote as anybody could pull from the Epstein files to prove that Trump's on the good side. It's right there. Everything is in this sentence. The establishment hates Trump. Love it. So good. So good. Again, how can you not think we're winning, guys? All right. Let me get into the chat for a minute. We got, I do have some more coming, but let's take a break for a second. Please hit that like, hit that subscribe. If you're learning something, if you loved seeing the receipts on Thomas Massie, if you love seeing the receipts on Trump being innocent, hey, hit that like, hit that subscribe if you're new, repost if you're on X. Thank you so much. All right, let's see what's going on in the chat. Dirty man. What do I look bad? Is that why you're worried about me? Do I look like I'm fading away? Trish says, how many turncoats are there with trees on their minds on both sides? Quite a few. The good news is that the Republican Party has mostly been purged. There's still some leftovers, especially in the Senate, but the House has been mostly purged. The RNC has been mostly purged. MAGA has been doing its job. We've been cleaning house. So on the Republican side, the worst are gone, whether it's Romney, Pence, Liz Cheney, Kinzinger, all these guys who were Republicans, they're mostly gone. McConnell's going to be gone after this next cycle. We're cleaning house. It's taking a little time, but as far as the Democrats, it's worse than ever. See, because what the Democrats became is they had all the nice people who looked nice on the outside, but were destroying you behind the scenes. The Obamas, I can't even think of more off the top of my head, but they had a few who were good at playing the game. But then they got pushed into a corner because of Trump. And what it did is it made them go feral because they're completely controlled. And you see it on the Republican side too. I mean, you see Chris Christie coming out. They're like, Trump's not a real Republican. You see like the Lincoln Project guys. I mean, we have them. But the Democratic side, they panicked. And what they did is they went full in on the insanity. And they said, we have to accelerate. Because if Trump, what he undid so much of Obama's agenda in his first term that when Biden came in, they felt they had no choice but to hit the gas. They were like, we have one shot at this. And so they hit the gas and it failed. And because they hit the gas, and they accelerated things so quickly, it exposed them. And all of a sudden, everybody could see how crazy they all were. That's one of the reasons Trump won so handily in 24. They had and they put up that idiot Kamala Harris to run. I mean, they made a lot of mistakes. But they did it because they're desperate. They're the caged animal and trying desperately to figure out what to do. The only reason they're even in the game anymore is because what I showed you guys last night. It's the Democrats themselves are not a threat right now. They're only a threat if they get back into power, but they're not a threat because they're so ridiculously stupid and so crazy. Regular people won't vote for them. But the problem is those on the right, or at least those who pretend to be on the right, who have big followings, who built trust by becoming part of the movement, getting Trump in, becoming part of MAGA, becoming part of getting our country back on track. And then they waited for the right moment to turn on him. And so what they're doing is they're trying to split this coalition, destroy the movement. And because of them, we could lose the midterms. It is a possibility. I think Trump has plans, and we're actually going to get to that in a minute here, but I'm going to show you some things. There are plans to try to shore that up, to fix that. And with Trump's State of the Union address, which was a massive movement in the right direction, just a beautiful, beautiful moment, winning moment that has re-galvanized the support for Trump and made us, like, woke up a lot of people who had been getting frustrated with him, angry at him. And then they watched that and they were like, oh my God, what was I thinking? I can't vote for those other people. I love this guy. I love this guy. And it reminded people why we loved him. We hadn't had that in a while. Not on that scale anyways. And so it was a huge win, the State of the Union. And now if we can keep him in front of people and the Republicans actually do something, we could still win the midterms even without any of the other stuff going on. Without the Voting Rights Act, without the SAVE Act, we could still win. But it'd be harder that way, but it's possible. If we run good campaigns, we keep that momentum from the State of the Union, and we get the SAVE Act, and we get the Voting Rights Act struck down, holy cow, we'll gain. We'll gain 25, 40 seats. It'll be a massive win. So we're still easily in this. However, again, it's not the Democrats that are the problem right now. It's the libertarians who came on and, you know, the Dave Smiths, the Thomas Massies, who got Trump in there and then waited to when they could turn on him. It's the Bannon types, the Rich Barris, Mitchell, Robert Barnes, who are just out there talking every day about how Trump's failing. It's discouragement campaigns. It's Nick Fuentes telling his groypers we would have been better if Kamala Harris had won. It's Candace Owens trying to destroy Charlie Kirk's legacy. You look down the aisle. It's Ian Carroll coming out and like making crazy accusations against Trump because of the Epstein files. What are you covering up, bro? They're all doing it. They all have their little assignments, and then they all come together for these big moments, the cover up. And it's working on a lot of people. I know smart people who are completely duped into this nonsense because they don't look for the facts. It just feels right to them. They're like, this has to be. Some of it is because they got so blackpilled by government in the past that they can't even though they voted for Trump, even though this is what they voted for the most part, they're getting it, that the second it looks like the old stuff, they just go immediately back in. They go lizard brain into, oh, corruption again. I knew it. Nothing ever works. We're screwed. And that's where they go. Some of them are in that spot, which is disgustingly sad and pathetic, because as adults, you should be able to back up and do the work. You should be able to. Most are incapable. Well, incapable is the wrong word. Most are unwilling. It's really sad. But it's why I take you guys on a journey. Because people come in. We had somebody the other week came in mad about what I was saying about Bannon, called me a black pillar. The next day came back after watching my show, said, I'm so sorry, I see it now. Yeah, it's because I bring receipts. If you watch my show and you don't, like, I'm not saying you completely agree with me, but if you don't at least be like, huh, look at that, that's interesting, then you're not an honest person. You're not intellectually honest. Because I bring receipts to make you think. And it's fine if you disagree with me after seeing them. Just have a reason. Don't just tell me, don't just regurgitate nonsense. Oh, Israel's behind it all. Okay, well, here's all the evidence that shows that you're probably wrong about that and why I don't believe that. No, man, it's true. It's true. Candace Owens told me in a dream. This is stupid stuff. Remember when Candace said Charlie came to her in a dream and was like, beware of Erica. So stupid. People are like, oh my God, did you hear what Candace said? Charlie came to her in a dream. He chose her. Dude, we gotta do this for Charlie's ghost, bro. That's just so ridiculous. Oh my God. Hey, I'm gonna call you guys out for a second here. Chat's a little quiet tonight. Is everybody just so amazed by the brilliance of this show that you just have nothing to say? Or are you all just drunk with tiredness because it's late? Or am I just sucking tonight? You can be honest. It's okay. You can let me know. But anyways, say hey. Say hey. Let me know you guys are still alive out there and that the stream's not dead. Dury Red says, we're in the 40 days Jesus was in the wilderness fighting the devil before Passion Week. Christians stand up, pray every day. Amen, man. That's why we pray at the end of every one of these, because it's necessary. When Jesus went to the wilderness, he went to be tempted, but he fasted and prayed for 40 days before he was tempted. The devil came to him at the end. What's interesting about that, and it's kind of funny how God works, is that when he came, it says Jesus was hungry. So he was at the worst part of the fast, 40 days. Okay. He was exhausted. He was hungry. And that's when the devil came, when Jesus was weakest. But at the same time, because he'd been praying that whole time, his mind was the clearest. And so he withstood the temptation. Even when the devil used scripture at him, Jesus responded with scripture in context. Isn't that wild? That's how he did it. And how do we beat psyops? With truth. And sometimes, actually, most of the time, a lie is not a blatant lie. Most of the time, a lie is truth taken out of context. And that's why it's effective. You understand? Like lies, like Thomas Massie. So, like the Epstein files. Is it true there's redactions? Yes. That's absolutely true. What's the lie? The lie is it's a cover-up. Well, what they use a truth to communicate the lie. Now, you guys might disagree with me and be like, well, it's obviously a cover-up. Look at this. And I have my millions of reasons why I think it's not. But the point is context. I will go back and I will do the whole Epstein journey to where we're at right now. And I will say, for the last 20 years, here's the entire journey of why I believe this isn't a cover-up. And they'll say, redactions. And I'll say, okay, what am I going to say to that? Because I just put something in context and you're just taking something out of context, but you choose to believe it. And that's how lies, that's the most effective lies. Truth taken out of context. That's it. It's that easy. Rob says we're shocked by all the receipts. Kessing says you're quiet because when you post them, I cover later. Really? Well, you could still post something. I just like seeing the chat go. I'm sorry, guys. I'm human. I just like to know, you guys are alive out there. Is Jane Fonda in Iran yet, manning a gun and hating on America? That's awesome. Hot Rod says, great. Hardly miss a show. Guilty of being silent watcher. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Taya. Jesus looked at his WWJD bracelet. That's great. Playing a game. Listen, no, that's nice. All right, cool. I just wanted to know you guys are alive out there. God's a fourth watch God. Oh, I know that. That's true. Okay, let's move on. Speaking of Candace, I don't have a lot on her, but I got to show you guys this because it's just great. This is great. Dave Rubin, God bless you for this one. This is so good. I don't know. Maybe because I love this movie, but watch this.
Fathers, sisters, husbands, previous wife's daughter's daughter.
I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate.
Fathers, sisters, husbands, previous wife's daughter's daughter.
Perfect.
I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate.
Fathers, sisters, husbands, previous wife's daughter's daughter.
I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate.
I wish they'd kept the line in right after that where it says, He says, well, what does that make us? And Dark Helmet says, absolutely nothing. That's what I think about Candace Owens' receipts. What does that mean, Candace? Absolutely nothing. That's what I think about. So, anyways, well done, Dave Rubin. That is fantastic. Totally made my day. Okay, let me show you a couple of things on Candace that's been happening since she came back with this big Erica Kirk thing, and because Candace needed money to pay off Christmas. Says everyone missed the most important part of Candace's new Erica Kirk series yesterday. Check this out. The bots. So when she was talking yesterday,
MK Ultra.
This is very interesting. So I'm going to make this full screen. Screwed that up. Sorry guys, just one sec. Let's go full screen for this one. What? It did again? No. All right. There we go. All right. Look at the chat as I play this. You see it says block Hassan Piker, unblock Hassan Sniper Stream, Sneeko Hassan, unblock Hassan Abi. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he is one of the biggest leftist streamers and he got blocked.
Military grade program.
Truthfully, cut the sound. But look at that in the chat. It's nonstop. Okay. So what does that mean? See, there's 229,000 live watching. Well, when this happens on YouTube, it's bots. But these bots aren't hurting her. Okay, you got to understand how bots work. It's not hurting Candace's stream when those bots are on. All right, she's still getting viewer numbers. It's tricking the algorithm. So people were like, the people on her side were trying to say, I was going to keep playing it silently in the background. The people, the Candace fans were trying to say she got hit by bots, but that doesn't make sense because it doesn't hurt her stream. It only helps her stream because it keeps the stream going. It keeps the chat going, which tells the algorithm this is a very popular show. And so the algorithm is going to keep promoting it. What this most likely shows is that Candace buys bots and they glitched on her or they sent the wrong ones. Because on YouTube, there is, like, if somebody bot streamed me to shut me up, it wouldn't hurt anything. It only helped my video. I can tell you guys this. I work in marketing. So Candace got the wrong bots, but it exposed it. And yet she and her people out there were the ones saying everybody's paid to lie on her. That's hilarious. So just more, it's not 100% proof. It could have been some other idiot sent him over thinking it would hurt her. I'm not going to say it's 100%, but I will tell you, it doesn't hurt a stream. It only helps it. And because of that, it's most likely she bought the bots or her advertiser or somebody promoting her. But one way or the other, it was on her end. It's vastly more likely. So that was interesting. And then 0 Hour unearthed this today. Candace, I believe, currently lives in Tennessee. George Farmer, her husband, the, likely homosexual man, House of Lords son, hundreds worth $250 million, father, MI6 connections. Foreign for-profit corporation, filing date, registered agent, George Farmer. Are they getting foreign money? That's interesting. Why are they taking foreign money? Huh. I don't know. Things that make you go, right? And then, the one area where Candace is right is that there are questions about the Charlie Kirk assassination, but it's not that Tyler Robinson shot him. I believe that is absolutely true. We've actually seen a lot of evidence to that effect. The question is, who is behind it? Who put him up to it? Who brainwashed him? Well, we got some interesting documents today. CIA republished declassified 1954 artichoke memo, explored turning Americans into involuntary assassins targeting American officials if necessary. How crazy is this? Memo explicitly includes foreign political officials as primary target, American officials as a fallback. Can an individual of blank nationality, approximately 35, be made to involuntarily perform an act of attempted assassination under artichoke influence? Drugging method: exploit the subject's heavy drinking by surreptitiously administering drugs via alcoholic cocktail during the social encounter. After drugging, apply artichoke techniques. And here's the documents. Read again. After drugging, apply artichoke techniques. And he shows there's Tyler Robinson, and there's the other shooter from a year ago. I can't remember his name. Trump shooter, right? Thomas something. Anyways, we're getting a lot of interesting stuff, aren't we? A lot of interesting stuff coming out. Candace, if she was doing her job, would be covering this instead of trying to take down Charlie's life work and his wife. I got to tell you, it's gotten so bad that Nick Fuentes, of all people, Fed Fuentes, came out and said, this is going too far. He's like, he said, even if there is some to this Erica stuff, he's like, at some point you got to say she's a widow. She just lost her husband. I agree. I said even last year when Candace started this stuff, even if you're right, Candace, you're doing this the wrong way. You're doing it in a very selfish way. And she continues. And my opinion has not changed at all. Jay Carnett says, fun fact, as a Kentucky Wildcats fan, Erica Kirk dated Josh Harrelson, one of your most beloved basketball players at UK. Really? So you have proof she's a girl as opposed to, is she Jewish? Because these are all accusations of Candace Owens, since you actually might have known her back then. Bannon reminds you of a slick used car salesman. Oh, yeah. We didn't just start, Daniel. We're pretty far down the road. Plausible deniability. That's right, Trish. Absolutely. Okay. I told you guys we got more interesting stuff. Well, this came out. Well, let me go back to this story first. FBI subpoenaed Kash Patel and Susie Wiles' phone records in 22 and 23 when both were private citizens, part of a federal probe into Trump. Fox News confirmed. Patel called the move outrageous and deeply alarming. Previous FBI leadership subpoenaed my own phone records with Chief of Staff Susie Wiles using flimsy pretext, burying the whole process. This is a wild story, guys. And today, the Office of the DNI, which is Tulsi, came out and said, same deep state playbook every time. Target political opponents, bury the misconduct behind prohibiting classified information. Did it to POTUS, did it to supporters, did it to Republican members of Congress, did it to DNI Gabbard. Now we have evidence they did it to Kash and Susie. It's blatant weaponization of government by the Biden admin against Americans. Exactly what shattered their trust in our institutions. So, what's this mean? Well, I know lots of people are going to be like, arrest, where's the arrest? I get it. I want to see him. Absolutely. But do you understand, like, we are in the drip phase, the awakening phase. You know how much has come out in the last year? Crossfire Hurricane, the Russia stuff completely debunked, up to Obama, proof Obama put it out there. We have the election stuff is coming. We have this now. I mean, they are exposing so much. The Epstein files, this is truly the most transparent administration in history. And the walls keep closing in on the left and on the deep state. every time this stuff keeps coming out, and it's awakening more people every time. More and more people are seeing this and being like, oh my God. And it's good they're calling for the arrest. But here's the part right now that's the problem. The only people calling for arrest right now are MAGA and then the America First Groyper types who are doing it to actually hurt Trump. They're doing it out of bad faith. That's it. What we need is this, and I believe the Trump administration's timing it perfect, to once they start seeing independents start to wake up. The middle Americans, once that catches, it'll be like a wildfire, and they'll know, okay, we can get away with this more now. This is a midterm year. If they just start arresting everybody and they don't have the receipts and the people aren't ready for it, it will crush the election. It will. This is why I'm glad Trump and the team are in charge and not everybody is super emotional, because they are thinking long term. How do we win and win in ways that last? They're not thinking short term, let's just do this all and blow it all up and see what happens. No, they're saying we have a plan. We're going to carry it out. And that's how this is happening. But my God, guys, this is huge. I mean, this said Nixon was terrible for Watergate, like spying on his campaign opponent. This is using the FBI and being busted for it. It's insane. Okay, speaking of the election, everybody freaking out. It's kind of interesting. We got Harry here. Harry's going to tell us something. I don't think we're going to play the clip tonight because it's getting late. But in Harry's voice, I like to make fun of it, but it can be a little annoying at night. But the point is this. We're hearing nonstop that Republicans have already lost the midterms. It's going to be a blue wave. And yet, Republicans are in a better place now than they were in 2018. See, trust party more in immigration. Democrats +6 in 2018. Now GOP +5. Party trusted more in border security. 2018 GOP 13. GOP now 15. And so you just see in some of these issues. Approval on immigration, Biden 34. The Republicans barely won in 22. And I know this is all immigration oriented, but the Republicans are also trusted more on the economy. Well, what are the number two biggest things to people that matter the most? Immigration, the economy right now. And so the Republicans still have that trust. That's big. We got a generic ballot came out the other day, and it only has Republicans down 2 points. Trump, the Trafalgar poll came out for Trump. His approval, 51%. And Trafalgar is one of the better pollsters. 51%. He's above 50 right now. I can't wait to see what more polls start coming out after the State of the Union. But guys, we're not as far back as everybody says we are. This is very possible. This is very possible. But meanwhile, they're doing their best to clean up the elections. Here's J.D. Vance talking about elections in Wisconsin.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Matt Smith from WISN TV in Milwaukee. On the fraud efforts and what we saw in Minnesota yesterday, here in Wisconsin, the governor has refused to give over the SNAP data here in the state, along with the voter data. I'm curious, is there a point, or at what point would the administration withhold federal funds from Wisconsin?
Well, look, we're going to look at every option that we have because we've got to stop this terrible fraud, but that is absurd. Ask yourself a question. Why would the government of Wisconsin not want to help us kick fraud off of the welfare rolls and kick fraud off of the voter rolls? And the only answer I can possibly come up with is because they like to cheat. There's no other real explanation. Now, the governor might say, in fact, I'm sure the governor would say this. Let me just be charitable to those who disagree with us. The governor would say, well, there isn't as much fraud as the Trump administration believes there is. Well, even if that's true, and it's not, but even if that's true, let's get what fraud there is off the voter rolls and off the welfare rolls. You know the right number of people who should be illegally voting in American elections? 0.
That's right.
You know the number of people who should be fraudulently collecting food stamps? 0. I want those benefits to exist for the people who need them. The only way to promise that is to get the fraud out of the system, and that's what we're trying to do in the Trump administration.
So good, man. JD Vance is so good at this. You know, he reminds me of in The Dark Knight when Gary Oldman, like, you know, Commissioner Gordon walks up, boy, looks good on the tube. That's JD. He is so good at this. You see how he just framed it? He is like, framed it. I'll be charitable. I'll present their argument, and then I'll tell you why that's nonsense. So good. JD is amazing. I know you guys like, stop geeking out over JD. Why don't you guys go get a room? I can't help it, man. He's incredible. He's incredible at this. But they're trying to clean it up, and this is the big push right now. JD's the fraud czar right now. He's going after the fraud, breaking it up. They're investigating all the elections. They've raided Georgia. They're going to Mariposa. They're going all in on cleaning things up. And then Trump dropped this today. Trump has previewed a 17-page draft executive order. 17 pages executive order. That means it's going to have receipts in it. Claims China interfered in the 2020 election. This creates the basis to declare a national emergency that would unlock extraordinary presidential power over voting. What did Trump say just a couple weeks ago? He said, pass the SAVE Act or I'll do it. This is what he's going to do. They are going to drop a bomb, evidence that China interfered in the elections. And when that drops, he's going to have emergency power to control the elections. He's not messing around. This is so good. So good. And so we're seeing this. I cannot wait to see what comes out with this. But then we have, I mean, it's starting to spread. Okay. People are getting tired of the opposition to the SAVE Act. This is an 85-15 issue, and it's going to, the Republicans are going to they're screwing themselves if they don't do this. John Thune, who's he's a deep state snake, establishment snake, but he's what we got. He's trying to navigate this right now because he knows this will kill the Republicans. So he's trying to come up with a solution to navigate it where they can look like they're trying to push it, but it ultimately is defeated. And they can say, well, we tried, we put the Democrats on the record, vote in the midterms, give us more majority. It might work, but Trump is obviously not waiting for that. But listen to this, like how the public is handling this. And this is so sweet because this is sweet justice right here. This lib guy getting this right here.
The SAVE Act is very likely more aimed at.
Look at this guy. If that guy's not the most beta male I've ever seen in my life, I don't know what is. You can tell, total mouth breather, pale face. He probably hasn't been off a computer screen in the last 6 years. Sad.
At voter suppression and at keeping key demographics that the Republican Party does not want voting to not show out and vote. I think very often minority demographics.
That's not true. No.
Here it comes. He made Mama mad with that statement.
This is the thing where the suggestion is it's going to keep the black vote down. I've got two black panelists here. Ajwa?
That's not true.
Do you have ID and proof of citizenship?
Yeah, and if I need a copy of my birth certificate, it's just a matter of going online or going up to the department and asking for it and showing my information to get it. I mean, to say that it would negatively affect a minority group because they're somehow not educated enough to get these documents is completely outrageous.
Annie?
Good for her. Isn't that beautiful? I love seeing that kind of stuff. Love it. So, it's this kind of stuff. It's the sentiment in the country. It's what Trump's planning on doing. It's JD out there spreading the message. It's the investigations going on. It gives me so much hope, guys. I think that right now we're under this swarm of PSYOP nonstop. It's narratives, just smacking us over the head to discourage us. But the truth is, even with all that, we're not in that bad a place. So I still have great hope for the midterms. I really do. Okay, let's look at the chat real quick before we finish up here. $7 donation for Christina Abbott. Thank you so much, Christina. Always appreciate you and your support. Thank you so much. Brett reminds everybody to like, subscribe. Brett, it's good to have you back, man. How you feeling? Trish says she's getting a brain orgasm. Oh, that's interesting. Hope you're okay. Keep exposing the filthy ghouls. I will. Thank you, Trish. Christina has asked for prayer for Canada always. I know Canada is really going through a lot. Kasink says, just typing this about China. Did I cut you off again, buddy? And 17 pages. Cute. Isn't that interesting? Huh, Johnny? You're right. 17-page draft. There it is. That is interesting. Gotta say. Let's just say there's a reason why my thumbnails lately, there's a Q showing up in the thumbnails a lot more, because every day I feel like we're seeing more and more come true, more and more of it playing out the way we've been hoping for a long time. All right. Real quick here. We had a great legal victory today. The Ninth Circuit vacated an injunction on Executive Order 14251, allowing Trump to cancel collective bargaining agreements when they interfere with national security concerns. So he now basically 800,000 federal employees Trump now has more power over with their collective bargaining, which means he could probably fire them. So that's almost 1 million federal employees that if Trump wants, he can let go. So great, a huge win again. So just great stuff. And with collective bargaining, that means they're holding taxpayers hostage for their benefits, which is pretty sick. There should never be public sector unions, but just a win, huge win, proving that they don't have long-lasting power, these unions, which breaking up the unions, always a good thing. Always a good thing. Okay, guys, the last thing I want to leave you all with tonight is before we pray and officially close, there's a video going around from RFK Jr. of an interview he just did, and I pulled a clip from it. It's RFK, he was running against Trump last year. And at one point he said he'd never serve with President Trump. He thought he was gross. He couldn't stand him. And he kind of saw him as the enemy, and now he joined forces with Trump, and he's been working with him now for over a year. And I feel like there's no better person to actually communicate what Trump's like than somebody who's been won over by him in the last year. So I want to play this clip real quick. It's a couple minutes, and then we'll come back and close out. And if you guys decide to leave before that, hey, God bless. Have a great night. Please like and subscribe on the way out. And if you don't mind, if you love the content and you want more, go in the description, click the link down there for a free month of membership to my channel, where you'll get live shows that are members only. You'll get podcast episodes, members only. And you'll also get into the Discord group, which is 24/7 chatting, sharing news, stock stuff, all kinds of fun stuff. So great community in there, and I'd love to have you be a part of it. So if you'd love to support the channel, after your free month, it's only $5 a month to stay in. Okay, so please check it out. Costs you nothing. So anyways, but here's RFK.
Something that I would have never predicted, but life is unpredictable, and we all have to be opportunists and see opportunities when they come. And President Trump is, the President Trump that I imagine, the caricature that you see in the press all the time of the kind of narcissistic bombast, who is uneducated and is not thoughtful and, lacks compassion. The actual person is actually the opposite of those things. He's extremely detail-oriented. He's an encyclopedia in many areas, in business, in sports, in the arts, in architecture, in building. He knows how to, above all, he just knows how to get things done. He understands uses of power probably better than any president that I can name, and I'm pretty familiar with all the presidents. So I don't think we've ever had somebody who understands the use of power that he does, and the boldness with which he moves and which he expects us to move, I think has inspired all the people who work here right now to do things that people told them before were not possible. And we've managed to do that. I mean, we've gotten MFNs, which is, we were paying for 40 years, we were paying the highest drug price of any country in the world. Now we're paying the lowest. Every president's promised to do that, and all of them have said it's insurmountable. You can't do it, but we were able to do it.
Sorry, guys, that was weird. Did you hear what he said? Not only that, is everything negative about Trump a lie about his character, but he wields power better than any president he could ever think of. And this is a guy who's well-read, studied on American history. His uncle, JFK, I mean, come on. What a huge compliment. And it also makes you think, what else is RFK knows coming? Because when you make a statement like that he wields power better than anyone, that makes you think he's in total control, doesn't it? Guys, enjoy the show, because you can't make this stuff up. We are winning like we've never won before. And it's a special, special time. And we're blessed to be born in such a time like this. We are watching history unfold daily. Our country is coming back. We are defeating the worst people in the world. What a beautiful time. Prayers for decades. People have prayed for decades. We're seeing come true left and right. This is not a time to be discouraged. It's not a time to be upset. It's not a time to get frustrated. It's a time to actually trust the people we put in place, because this is like last night when I showed you them all praying together. This is the best cabinet in American history, and one of the best 3 presidents. Washington, Lincoln, Trump. I truly believe that. And we are God gave us an amazing gift. So let's steward that and do our part. Whatever that part is, take it up before God. But whatever that part is, that's what we do to make sure that this happens on our watch and we don't screw it up. So just remember, there were times when Washington's troops wanted to bail on him because the war was getting so hard. There were times when people wanted to bail on Lincoln when the Civil War was getting too hard. There are times you're going to want to bail. There's times you get frustrated. You think you're not winning, but the night is always darkest before the dawn, right? I love that quote. So anyways, on that note, guys, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. Just think about joining if you want to be a member, or if you just want to try it out for free. That's my gift to you, is a free month of membership. Let's pray and get out of here. And then I'm going to be off until at least Sunday, unless we get an Iran attack. So in which case I'll be on. So, all right. Heavenly Father, thank you for today. God bless everybody watching. Lord, I thank you for them. I thank you for, God, just that there's so many people out there who are truly on the right side of history and wanting to see us advance and love this country. Father, we pray for our country that, God, you would help this team bring in the best time in American history, the golden era, Lord. Most prosperity, most peace and justice we've ever known. We're already seeing it, but I just pray for more. And God, I thank you for the miracle you gave us. We pray protection over our president and his team. We pray wisdom and boldness for them in Jesus' name. And bless everybody watching. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Thank you, Lord. Amen. All right. God bless you guys. Love you. Have a great evening, great night, late night, great morning. And I'll see you guys in the next couple of days. God bless.
sign screaming like a siren at night. Red and blue shouting, nobody's right. Smoke in the streets, truth under attack. Everybody's loud, nobody's got facts. Feeds keep scrolling, nerves stay tight. Matchsticks flicked in the dead of night. They sell fear, cheap package the lies, while the clock keeps ticking, empires on fire. Can't sit quiet while the world's on edge. Lines in the sand, standing on the ledge. No script, no leash, no polish, quiet. Just a voice in the dark and a spark to the wire. This is and I'll bring the fire. Gonna light it higher. No filter, no fear, I say it raw. Strike the match, let it burn through the fog. This is and I'll bring the fire. And I'll bring the fire. Everybody's selling truth like a brand,